The Dragonborn, a man with the soul of a dragon. You experience this character in many ways in Skyrim. As a stealth archer, the skilled warrior, the cooking hunter. What Dragonborn is lore accurate, and what will he really do in Skyrim? As there is a way to calculate the true Dragonborn's appearance, characteristics, and even backstory. These can be analyzed through gameplay, lore, and even Bethesda themselves. With these notions in mind, I will calculate all the things the Dragonborn would do. Let's get started. Starting with appearance and backstory, we can concur the Dragonborn's in his early 30s. He is a male Nord, as shown in the promos. He was likely born in Cyrodiil Bruma, because he's crossing the border at the start of the game, and Bruma because he's more or less a traditional Nord. As for backstory, he grew up in a Nord home, but became orphaned at a young age. I think this is accurate as Bethesda is heavily influenced by Star Wars. However, more specifically, Bethesda seems to like Han Solo more. This comes out in writings such as Starfield. After being orphaned, the Dragonborn would take odd jobs, becoming somewhat of a drifter in Bruma. A jack of all trades, but a master at none. This is seen from his beginning of the game's stats. Either way, he'll get into trouble with the underworld and flee to Skyrim, where the events of Helgen would begin. During the escape, I believe he would escape with Ralof, simply because he wouldn't know if going with Hadvar would be a continued death sentence. The Dragonborn would go to Riverwood and soon begin helping Hod and Gerda around the mill. The Dragonborn would soon come into contact with Fen and Fendel, and aid one in a love affair. The Dragonborn would aid Fendel, while Ralof left for Windhelm. He would help Fendel as that's his work kid. The Dragonborn, while developing a few skills, would help the Riverwood folk liberate the mine from the bandits, which would make Gerda tell him to go call for aid, seeing some of his skills. This can be furthered in the book manual for the game, which wants you to kill the bandits in the mine. After reporting to the Jarl, he would aid the court wizard. After Bleakfall's Barrow, he fights the dragon. After slaying the dragon and absorbing its soul, he is summoned by the Greybeards and heads out to High Hrothgar. While training, he fetches Jurgen Windcaller and gets into contact with Delphine. There aren't much decisions to be had, as he does witness Alduin's resurrection of a dragon, finding Esbern, and learning and acquiring the Elderscrolls from Paarthurnax. The real question is about the Civil War. Though he has Nordic values, the Dragonborn is also from Cyrodiil. I personally believe after infiltrating the Thalmor embassy, that Dragonborn makes a negotiation at High Hrothgar. As for the rest of the game, I don't think he would bother with any of the guilds as they don't fit what he's after overall. The Dragonborn is not evil enough for the Dark Brotherhood, not studious enough for the College of Winterhold, wouldn't want to be a werewolf with the companions. At this point I don't see him going back to a life of crime with the Thieves Guild. I think that Dragonborn would start helping rebuild the Blades and kill Paarthurnax. Yes, I said to kill Paarthurnax. It's not something I necessarily agree with, but I think he would do it out of a sense of honor and destiny. It wouldn't be honorable as a betrayal, though I think a part of him would see Paarthurnax as a traitor and a threat to Skyrim and its people. Paarthurnax is a political obstacle, plus out of a sense of duty. This also comes as, in spite being emotionally attached to Paarthurnax, the game forced you to kill him, and the Dragonborn is a Dragon Slayer at his core. For other side quests, only one comes to mind of an actual choice is No One Escapes Sidna Mine. Although you can make a case he would kill Monadnock, I don't think the Dragonborn ultimately would. One reason being from his perspective, at this point he just wants to get out of prison, and the Forsworn are perceived as the best way of getting out, and the Silverbloods are far from honest. Second reason is the Dragonborn is not a quote-unquote good guy. This can be seen as parts of the story are derived from the Beowulf epic. Going to High Hrothgar is even synonymous with Beowulf coming to King Hrothgar's aid in the epic. And in that story, Beowulf is a monster among men, much like how the Dragonborn has Dragon Soul, but Beowulf is not a good guy, even for the time period and premise. Which is why the Dragonborn is more honorable bad than chivalrous good. He's also neutral, which is why I think he would temporarily side with Monadnock. For the DLC, the Dragonborn would choose the Dawnguard, where the vampires threaten Skyrim, and he wouldn't have an interest in becoming a vampire. In Hrothgar, the Dragonborn would choose Lakeview Manor near Falkreath. It's most neutral, forest is rich with game, and ground is mostly fertile. I also believe he would marry Mjol the Lioness, which makes for the ideal shield maiden, plus I can see her personality jiving with him best. Mjol is also more likely to settle down, unlike Ale the Huntress and Serana. For the Dragonborn DLC, The main choice comes with Mirak, which I think the Dragonborn would side with Mirak to repel from Reyes Mora, seeing him as more of a threat. That sums up what I think the Dragonborn would do. I don't think in any circumstance he would become subservient to a Daedric Lord. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. Hit that like button and subscribe, and truly live the game.